Hey Kings of Dragons, Dragon King 551 here, and we are back with another draft video. This one's all about the New York Giants' draft picks, which players I was concerned about, which ones I'm like, okay, this is a good pick, and I feel the Giants are probably going to win a lot of games this year. Now, let's start with the first overall pick. Obviously, this is the one where I'm going to talk a lot about how the Eagles screwed us, and we also got revenge later down the draft. So I'll talk about that later on in the third round, I believe it was. So we had a chance to get Devontae Smith. The Eagles jump ahead of us at 10 with Dallas, and that enemy of my enemy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend quote, basically. And Dallas helps the Eagles. And that's kind of like payback for when Dallas took CeeDee Lamb. So now they got Devontae Smith with Jalen Hurts. So, well, I guess I'll see how that works out. But, again, they screwed the Giants. I think it's personal. We got to win a lot of games. So, going on what we have. Kadarius Toney, first-round pick. So, obviously, he's a B. Last night in the draft video, I believe that he was a B+ at most. He has the tools to really add a big play threat to the offense. Trading down and getting a playmaker and a first-round pick next year is a good move by Dave Gettleman and stuff. But as I have stated before, we have a very good future, and our future looks bright. We also have the 4th overall pick next year in the draft. So if Daniel Jones does not pan out this season, and Dave Gettleman doesn't do his, and like Dave Gettleman might be on the chopping block, but I think mostly Daniel Jones. He's got to lay it out on the floor this season. He's got to lay it all out there. Try to not make that many mistakes. Don't make those mental mistakes, and just win and try to win as many games as possible and get that team to the playoffs or get in playoff contention. Now there's going to be 17 games, so I mean, I've been having concerns with the Giants, so let's talk about this a little bit. They went from Dave Gettleman's first year from 4-12 to 5-11 to 6-10. Now, yeah, before I knew that the Giants, before I knew everyone was going to have 17 games, I was like, they can't improve to 7-9 and get the division. I mean, obviously the division's a joke anyway. You only need to win like 6-7 games and you're already in playoff contention. I mean, most of the Eagles and the Cowboys are the only two teams that ever make it with 9 and 7 games. I mean, you need to win more than that to actually be a threat in the playoffs. But I don't know. I mean, if the Giants win 8 games and go 8-9, 17 games, I mean, that's not ideal. I would love them to win at least 10 or 11 games this season, but we'll see. So let's move on right to the second overall pick. The second round pick, pick number 50. So again, we traded down to get another draft pick. So we got Azeez Ojulari. As I predicted that the 3 picks in one of my drafts for the Giants, I had Jalen Waddle, I believe I had Devontae Smith, and I had Kwity Paye. Now, obviously Kwity Paye was taken, but I had Jalen Waddle, Kwity Paye, and Azeez Ojulari. And I'm glad that the Giants got him now in the second round. He's a very good pass rush. Giants love to draft a lot of Georgia players, I see. Like, they drafted Andrew Thomas, DeAndre Baker, Lorenzo Carter, and Tay Crowder. And now they have Azeez Ojulari. So, yeah. So they say, this is what CBS says, my edge one in this class plays the run better than expected for smaller outside rusher because of his long arms, leverage, frequently explosive, good bend, good pass rush moves. Giants need a more juice up front, but is the knee issue worrisome? So he did have a knee injury, and they did give him an A-, and I think that's a very good pick. I have no problems with that. I think the Giants are going to be very good. That's one pick I really enjoyed, and yeah, so let's move on. Let's move on to the third round. Now, this one is the one that I was going to talk about first. So, in the third round, we traded. I believe we had, I want to say the 78th pick. I can't remember what. I think it was the 78th pick. So the Giants have obviously the third round picks, pick 78. They trade out with Denver, and they get pick 71. Now this is where the Giants screw the Eagles. They get payback on them and say revenge is sweet and revenge is a bitch, basically. So here's the problem. We get Aaron Robinson, defensive back out of UCF. Now, the Eagles wanted that guy. Too bad. So sad. We got him. You screwed us with a wide receiver. We screw you with a defensive player. So, he's an A-. And they say feisty, inside, outside cornerback with good mirroring skills because of his light feet and good route recognition. Instant slot starter who will find the football. Good in run support too. So I mean, yes, we didn't really stop the run game that well, so it's very good to get some guys that can tackle and slow down that run game. And but ideal, he will probably guard their slot receiver most of the time. So we do have a lot of defensive backs. Adoree Jackson, I have said. Let's move on to the fourth round. Now, again, we want pass rush. Now, I don't know who is on the pass rush. I do know that we did sign Danny Shelton and Dexter Lawrence. So Dexter Lawrence may play outside and play the left end, and the Leonard Williams may play the right defensive end. Now, obviously, we can move Dexter Lawrence inside and go for that that 4-3 and have more guys up front, and because we do switch on a lot of that. So we could have that defense and then have Tate Crowder play middle linebacker with Blake Martinez and have those guys, and have our outside linebackers Zee Ojulari and Lorenzo Carter. And then we can have this guy, Allerson G. Smith. Now, he's another edge, and he's from Northern Iowa or something. Sorry, North Iowa. Now, they gave him a grade of an A. I have no problem with that. I think that's a very good grade for this guy. So let's see how they say. He's obviously 6'7", 245 pounds. Would not like to be hit by this guy if I'm a quarterback. He's tall, well-built edge with a nice pass rush moves. Could add more weight and pop to his frame, and coming from competition, Giants need edge help. So I mean, that's the guy. I mean, for on the fourth round. Let's move on to obviously I want to say fifth round, but since the Giants do not have a fifth round pick and they do not have a seventh round, we're only going to go into the sixth round for the Giants. So there is no fifth or seventh round. I believe they will have that next year. I think they have 2 first-round picks, 2 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks, and I don't remember what else. But, I mean, it's good to have picks like that in the early rounds, 1, 3, and 4. Those are earlier rounds. You don't want to have it in the late rounds because there aren't as many good players anymore, but, I mean, it's whatever. So let's move on to the last 2 players. Obviously, these are 2 players I don't know a lot about, so let's just see how we get this. So we get Gary Brightwell, running back, Arizona. Now, this says a B+. I have no problem with that. We do have Devin Booker? Or Devin, Devon Booker. Sorry, one of those 2 pronunciations. But anyway, point is, he's a good running back. We have Saquon coming back. It's good to always get some depth there. You want some good running backs. As we lost Wayne Gallman in free agency. So they think he, this is what they said. They thick, explosive back who's better accelerating away from defenders than making them miss in space. So he's able to use his speed to get away from them, but he's not like Saquon where he can juke and get away with them. Again, and they also say, but his feet aren't slow or clunky. North-south specifically, who power through contact on a regular basis. Nice running back depth this late. So, I mean, very good player. You want to get that guy in space, and you just want to do a lot of damage. Now, obviously, I think B plus is fine. I have no problem with that. I don't rate that guy higher than that, just because I don't know a lot about him. I don't know how well he's going to do, but I think he's a pretty good guy. Now we have our last guy here. Rodarius Williams, cornerback, Oklahoma State. He's a B. Now, I think a B plus probably. I mean, he's 6 foot. We need some tall guys on our defense. We can't have the very short guys. We need guys that can actually elevate themselves and get up there. So they say he's a very clean film on the outside, but measure in a little smaller than expected. Older prospect whose assignment sound and plays the football in the air constantly. Loves his mirroring ability too. So, I believe that he will do well. I mean, mirroring ability, I believe, is he copies other techniques from other defensive backs in the NFL and also other stuff. So that's all I have for those guys, and that's all I have for them. Obviously, CBS and everyone has rated them as an A minus for the Giants, finally giving them some credit. As the last 3 years, I believe it's been B, B minus, B plus. Now we get that A minus, that A caliber team. So yes, that's all I have to say about the Giants picks. I believe that they're going to have a very strong draft class. This is a very strong draft class this year, and I believe they will have a very next strong draft class next year. But the problem is you don't know yet. So do the Giants get a quarterback? I don't know. That is up to the coaching staff, the front office, and everyone else there. If Daniel Jones doesn't pan out, I believe he will be gone. The Giants will take a quarterback. Giants fans, where you guys at? I know a lot of you are probably going to disagree with me and say Daniel Jones is our future. You got to give him another year, but 3 years is definitely plenty of time. You don't groom players as you used to. You give them by 1 to 3 years. If they don't pan out in that third year, they got to be gone. Just because time and essence of winning is very important, and you can't just keep trying to develop that guy and he's just not getting it. So that's all I have to say about the Giants. All right, guys. So don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. And go Giants. I hope they win 10 games or more this season. So let's get it.